Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic risk management and their importance. So here in the first slide I have shown why risk management. As we have already done in my earlier lectures about what is risk management and the objectives behind the risk management. So just to recap of my earlier lecture. So I would like to say that risk management is basically a process for identifying, assessing, and controlling the threats to an organization's capital and their earnings. So these threats or risks, could stem from a wide variety of sources, like you can say your financial uncertainty, legal liabilities, strategic management errors, accidents, and maybe some natural disasters. So there are many kinds of risks which a business has to face in its as a external level threat. So as a result, a risk management plan increasingly includes companies' processes regarding identification and controlling of these threats so that we can have a proper plan, we can have a proper strategy so that we can fight with the external level threats, right? So every business and organization faces some risk of unexpected or harmful events that can cost the company money or can cause to its preliminary closure also, permanently closure also. So, risk management basically allows the organizations to attempt to prepare for the unexpected by minimizing the risk and extra cost before they could happen in the real future, right? So, in the next slide, I have shown few of the points. I have showing you the importance of risk management with the help of few points. So by implementing a proper risk management plan and considering the various potential risks or events before they occur, an organization, no doubt, number one, the importance is can save money and you can protect the future, because a robust or proactive risk management plan will always help a company to establish their procedures so that they can easily avoid their potential threats. They can minimize the impact of the threats, and should they also occur and cope with the results, right? So this ability to understand and control the risk will allow every organization to feel more confident. They can feel more confident in that about their business decisions. So furthermore, you can say that a strong corporate governance principles that focus specially on risk management can help a company to reach their goals. So in a very simple language, we can say that by implementing a proper risk management plan, we can reach our goals. We can be able to reach our goals. So here I'm showing you the first point. To make sure that the company only takes the risk that will help it to achieve its primary objectives means first we have to identify what kind of errors, what kind of threats could be there in the future, so that we can easily minimize that, we can reduce that, and we can also absorb that threat in the future, so that we can easily procure or we can avail our primary objectives, right? So second one here is, it is important for every organization to have a risk management program, because a firm cannot possibly define its objectives for the future. So it's but obvious that to define your future, first we have to know or we have to identify, we have to assess the type of risk, what kind of risk could be there in the future, and the significance and the probability of the risk and the tolerance level of the firm could be judged or could be identified, right? And the third one is, it is very much important to study and to identify and so that we can avoid the costly pitfalls, right? And we can keep all the employees safe and healthy. This is the most important, that it's also very much important to have the study of the risk management so that we can easily identify, so that we can minimize our cost structure also, if there would be any pitfalls in the futures, we can minimize also by knowing in advance that this kind of risk could be generated. The probability is there, so what will be the tolerance level of the firm that it can tolerate the risk also, so that we can easily make the employees safe and healthy, and no doubt ultimately we can keep our customers happy, right? So in the next slide, the fourth point here is to protect the financial position as well as the general position operations. No doubt risk management process we have to apply. It's very much important so that we can be able to protect the financial position of the firm, and and our general operations must be affected by the risk, by the threat, so we can avoid that, right? And then in the fifth point, I have shown that it helps to create a safe and secure work environment for all the staff members and also the customers. So it also increases the stability of business operations while also decreasing the legal liability. So basically, this risk management process also helps to create a very safe, healthy, secured environment for the staff and the customers by avoiding and by absorbing the risk. If we can know in the earlier stage that what kind of risk could be arrived in the future. And the sixth one is the study also protects all the involved people and assets from the potential harm. No doubt risk management is also very important because we can be able to protect all the involved people and assets from the any kind of potential harm would be in the near future. So we can protect both the company and both our environment of the company from any any kind of undesirable event or undesirable threat, right? So in the next point, I have shown that it is important to study risk management so as to provide protection from the events, the undesirable events which could be arrived in the near future, and they are very much detrimental to both the environment of the company and no doubt the company as a whole. So it's important to consider about the risk management in advance, that what kind of undesirable threats and what kind of undesirable events could be arrived in your near future. So we have to control that. So in the next point, I have shown that by considering the risk management plan and considering the various potential risks or events before they occur, so an organization can save the money. The most important for any for every organization is to save the money and to minimize the cost, to know the threat that could be arrived in the future. So every kind of aspect which we are considering in the company, like cost, like threat, like money, so we can save that, and we can now easily protect our future. So we are doing all this not only to decrease the cost and to increase the potentiality, but overall we have to minimize our efforts and we have to utilize all the resources of the firm, right? So in the next slide, I have shown that in the point number 9, this can help the company to reach their goals, no doubt. If you are able to identify very easily what would be your threats, and if you are uh, the best manager is that who is able to identify what kind of risk could be arrived in the future, and your decision making power to control that, and your judgmental technique, your experience helps a lot to reach your goals. Then the next in the next point, I have shown you that the ability to identify and to manage the risk will allow the organizations to feel more confident about their business decisions. Every manager is said to be as successful not on the basis of maximization of decisions, but on the basis of how effective you are to take the decisions and how effective your decision making process is. It all depends upon how effective your data is, and how able you are to manage the risk, and how proactive you are to identify the risk, so that you can minimize and you can absorb and you can reduce that risk in a proper or in an appropriate manner, right? So in the last point, I have shown you that it allows every organization to attempt to prepare for the unexpected, all the undesirable events or threats by minimizing the risk and extra cost before they happen. No doubt. We are doing all this effort not only, to see and to show others that we are doing so much effort, but it is all for the company, for the employees, for the safety of the environment, for the safety of the customer, and for the safety of the employees. So at last, I would like to say that effective, a risk management plan, or whenever we add a word management, it means we are applying all the principles of management, right? So it means the total control of future outcomes proactively rather than reactively. This is the most important, the point in the today's scenario also, that we are facing the problem of covid-19 in today's scenario. So we have to be very proactive in nature rather than reactive in nature. Reactive means you are waiting for the threat, and then you are taking the action. So proactive means, right from the A to Z, you are taking care of all the factors, and you are every time active, you know, uh, to respond in the market. Means, everything in advance, every, undesirable effect, undesirable things in advance, and you are very much able to cope up with that problems. So this is the proactive in nature. So in today's, scenario, it's required for every insurance firm that they should be proactive in nature, right? So therefore we can say that an effective risk management offers the potential to reduce both the possibility of a risk occurring and their impact in the company. So that's all for the today's lecture. Thank you so much.